fucking hell.
Mate, what are you doing?
Just hold it.
I saw him holding it.
Look, Sam, just hold it. Look, phone like this. Hold it. 2 hands.
Right.
Ready? What are you doing, mate?
Morley's calling me. I'm an important man, you big fucking plonker. You
Don't
two
worry.
twats just
I
fucking...
better put my phone on silent as well.
Right, let's go. Roll the camera. Let's go.
It's rolling. It's been rolling. This is all going in.
It's just interesting technical difficulties that we're experiencing.
There's zero technical difficulties. It's just that I'm just... Right, anyway, Kugan, go on. Let's fire away, Sam.
KUGAN Cassius, IFL TV, MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by Joyce. Very professional setup. Sam, wherever the fuck you are, whatever.
with a GD definition, the ghetto definition.
I was fishing peacefully.
Oh yeah, you caught a fish that big.
Well,
Mate, it's a good fish, mate. I caught a couple of nice ones today.
Yeah, no. To be fair, yeah, you done well, man. There's caught a few fish, haven't you?
Oh, fish!
Oh, fish! Oh, I caught a fish!
Oh, a fish!
Oh, I caught a fishy!
Hello.
A fishy in the
lake. Joe, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lockdown life treating you well?
Yeah, I've just been locked down in the house, in my computer room. I've gone out a bit for runs and cycles and shit like that. Went to the beach, saw my dad. So yeah, just keeping healthy and ticking over, really. How about yourself?
Just cracking on, like talking to guys.
You look like you just woke up. Is that your bed there?
No, it's not my bed.
Just went for a tactical.
No, not my bed at all.
For the live stream.
No. So is training for you kind of becoming a little bit more easier, where things are starting to get a little bit more lenient regarding being cooped up in the house and not being able to do a lot?
Yeah, I think things are opening up a little bit because the retail shops are going to be open in a couple of days now, the 15th. So I think the kids have gone back to school, some of them, and I think I know Guernsey, for instance, is completely COVID-free.
Sam.
Yes, mate.
You still with us, yeah?
Just about, yeah.
Sam, any more discussions on Joe's fight with Daniel and when we can expect to see this now?
I'm being honest with me. I could like string you along and say, yeah, there's been loads of discussion. No, mate, there hasn't. It's just all about. I mean, we was hopeful the fight could have happened on July 11th, but without Frank's promoting the show, and he said that he doesn't want to do it with behind closed doors, and you've just got to respect what Frank says, and we've got to wait until when there's a crowd come back. But there's a problem there is that Joe needs to fight, so we need to get him a fight, which is we're hoping to get him Joe some kind of fight in, I'd say, end of August, start of September time.
Okay, so from what you're saying, his next fight could very well not be Dubois.
It's not. I'm almost certain it's not going to be the Bar KUGAN because I think Daniel's going to want to fight as well. I know Daniel fought at Christmas, but I'm sure Daniel's going to want some kind of one fight. But Joe's been out the ring since, I think, was it June or July last year against Jennings, which is it's no fault because Joe was scheduled to fight against Marco Huck in January. That went tits up with Marco Huck. Huck pulled out last minute. And then he was scheduled to fight Daniel Dubois, and then a virus came and
it's madness. I was doing so well in training camp, like getting better and better, having great sparring. I had them three guys, Ngannou. Who's the Samoan guy?
Patrick Maita. Patrick Maita is a very good heavyweight, big strong heavyweight.
And what's his name?
Jeremiah Milton is a prospect, American prospect, and Guido.
Yeah,
You had the best sparring possible.
Yeah, who's from the USA team. So yeah, had great sparring, and obviously had great facilities to train in. And I was just heading on a mission to beat up the bar, and then obviously when then the stuff hit the fan.
Joe, do you fear that there's a good chance that this fight we don't see it this year?
Yeah, because I saw something with the O2, and I think they haven't got any events till 2021.
Okay, yeah.
It's all about. Listen, the fight is all about. It's even if the venue had to change, like we're still hopeful. You've got to be hopeful that there could be a vaccine, or it could go on its own. Yeah, listen, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But whatever the case is, we have to just hope, and we've got to think positive that the fight could still happen back end of this year. But we've got to be like realistic, haven't we? So my main focus, I'm not even thinking about that fight right now. It's just getting Joe back in the ring and dusting off the cobwebs.
Joe, obviously, you're talking about you're sparring there with Ngannou, and to boxing fans now, Ngannou, they kind of associating him alongside Dillian Whyte after that.
Yeah, how did that happen? Like
your fault, I think.
Yeah. What? So Eddie must be like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let's get Dillian Whyte on it."
But just a little insight into the sparring with Ngannou, and how do you think he would adapt in the ring as a boxer?
He started off boxing, so he says, and he's got decent skills, but he's a little bit open because he's like got that MMA style. But I mean, if he just works solely on boxing, he can punch, so he can do some damage, man, with them fists. So, he's got a puncher's chance.
Is that what you'd give him against someone like Dillian Whyte in the boxing ring?
Well, Dillian came from kickboxing as well. So, I mean, he's had a lot more fights as a boxer. So it's a bit of a risky one to go straight in the ring with Dillian Whyte. He could have fought someone a bit, had a boxing fight against someone a little bit easier before he steps up. Because it's a bit like Conor McGregor going straight in with Mayweather. I mean, obviously it's a good money making opportunity, but it's quite tough to make that switch.
I think now we can obviously clarify, Sam, your comments that you made, which you actually didn't make, about Ngannou and Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte's said he was saying.
He was just. he almost got me killed. Dillian did. I had a phone call at 6 a.m. from an angry Francis Ngannou, the biggest man you've ever seen in your life, saying, "Whoa," and I was like, what the hell? I've just seen these comments. He goes, "You told Dillian Whyte Joe knocked him out." And then I asked Dillian, I messaged him, and he just sent me the biggest page of laughing emojis you've ever seen. I thought, fantastic. So I've got an angry Ngannou wanting to karate chop my head open, but at 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's all right.
Luckily, there's no flights over.
He would have. He'd have jumped on a flight got on a flight, come to East Midlands Airport and killed me. But yeah, he's Ngannou is a good guy, mate. He's a gentleman, and he had great rounds with Joe. And I do think he could make a decent boxer because he's as strong as an ox.
Yeah, man. When those punches were whistling past my face, some to the body, I was like,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I think it's a
he
great.
He hit me with a few as well, man. But I can't remember those. They were quite hard.
I think the idea around it's a good story, isn't it? And I think that the idea behind them two having a fight in the cage and also the boxing ring. I think realistically, I do think it's all talk, and it's not actually going to happen, is it? Really?
Yeah, no, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it'll happen for a second. I think Ngannou's got some time left on his contract with UFC, but I know for certain Ngannou will definitely turn to boxing. 100% at some point he will turn to boxing.
I just think, I think realistically, this year for that to happen,
No chance.
Oh,
No
yeah,
chance this
yeah.
year, mate.
With no crowd.
No
as
chance.
well.
Nobody's doing anything really this year, are they? I
mm.
mean,
It's a
let's be honest.
So Joe, just picking up from what Sam was saying there, just important for you, like I said, after what happened with Huck and now Dubois, just to get out again.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Corona.
Excuse me. No, not Corona. Not Corona. Not Corona. I was tested.
Yeah, just important for you to get out, Joe.
Yeah, it's been a year, man. Like, I need to get back in the ring, man. I can't get the ring rust and the cobwebs. Like, I'm gonna get in your face.
He might have to fight you, Kugan. There's no opponents.
Yeah,
All
man.
British opponents. He might have to fight you.
I'm available. Very cheap as well. Very
Just
cheap.
book a space in the garage.
Amazing.
Minimum
Amazing.
7 figures. I'm very cheap. Joe, just finally, and Sam as well. Obviously, just a little reaction to AJ Fury agreeing in principle their financial aspects of their deal. It's a small step, but a big step at the same time. Still a lot to go, but it seems like it's heading in the right direction.
Massive fight. But I think they got the rematch with Wilder now first.
Well, the third fight with Wilder and also AJ's fight with Kubrat Pulev. But
Pulev as well, yeah. But when is that going to happen? Like next year?
No, I expect
this year.
This year.
Those fights to happen this year, and then them two to have 2 fights next year.
What is that behind? Is that behind closed doors?
We don't know yet. We don't know. He might have a small crowd.
But Sam, just great that kind of that fight looks like it's on its way. A lot has to happen, obviously, but things are getting worked out at this stage.
I think something drastic could have to happen for Wilder to come back and beat Fury and Pulev to beat Anthony Joshua. But you don't want to discredit because Wilder's still the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division, and Pulev's not exactly a bum, is he? So it's they've both got to get past their business, and then it's great for the fans. In an ideal world, everyone wants it to be at Wembley Stadium, but in the real world, it's just not going to happen because it's two boys taking too much of a pay cut to do it. But I'm a fan in this, and like everyone, we would love it to be at Wembley Stadium. Let's just be happy the fight's happening. Let's everyone stop moaning, and let's just be happy the fight's happening. Yeah. Two of the biggest names in world boxing. They're both British. It's going to be the biggest fight in British boxing history. Let's enjoy the fight and get behind the fight the best we can.
Absolutely. So what are they saying? Where do you think it will be taking place?
We'll probably end up in Saudi. One of them.
Saudi.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Bahrain, Saudi or Bahrain, somewhere like that. Who cares as long as the fight happens? Yeah, exactly.
Where the money is.
UV the bar could end up in Saudi Arabia, Joe.
Why not? I mean,
as long as the fight happens. As long as the fight happens.
There's flies coming out my wallet at the moment, yeah.
Right, boys, I'll let you crack on with your Friday afternoon. Sam, you can go back to fishing. Joe, go back to Call of Duty, which might have been what you were playing. Oh,
gaming.
Yeah, he's doing. Yeah. This is normal behaviour for Joe anyway. Joe doesn't even know there's a virus anyway. This is his normal life.
But yeah, apart from I can't go to I can't eat out. I can't go. I don't know, trampolining or swimming in the swimming pool or to the gym. I don't know, but
Vegas would be lovely and warm as well. Oh God, we was having
it's like 40 degrees or something now, isn't it? 30, 40.
Yeah.
40.
We'll be back there soon. Getting ready for preparing for Dubai again. So.
All right, boys, no problem. Keep yourself safe, and we'll catch up soon. Yeah.
See you later, guys. See you in a bit, Joe. See you later, Kugan.
Thank you, boys.